Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling a piece of tech that, if you've been on the internet lately, you've seen it.
Oh, it's everywhere.
The Aleruva Android Tablet. You've got these really aggressive online ads that promise, these amazing specs for an impossibly low price.
Right.
And that really sets up our core mission here. Is this thing a real budget champion? Or is it just overhyped and going to frustrate you?
Exactly. This deep dive is all about where that consumer expectation meets the hard reality of a budget device. We're looking at whether that low price is a true deal.
Or if it's a trade-off.
Exactly. A trade-off where you end up paying for it later just in sheer frustration.
Okay, let's unpack this then. I think we have to start with the big question, the elephant in the room. Is this even real? Is it a fraud?
Yeah.
And what's the first impression when you actually get it out of the box?
The good news is, no, it's not a fraud. It is absolutely a legitimate product.
Okay, that's a relief.
It's a real, functional, budget Android tablet. And the reviews confirm it feels, and I'm quoting here, reasonably solid for a budget price device.
Which, for this price point, is actually a compliment, right?
It's a huge compliment. And what's fascinating is the trade-off they clearly made. They seem to have invested in the screen. It's described as clear and responsive enough for basic functions.
So they put the money where you can see it.
Pretty much.
That's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
A nice screen with maybe a slower engine. So let's talk about performance. Sources say it runs Android okay for things like browsing, video, email. But what does without major delays really mean in the real world?
And here's where it gets really, really interesting, because we have to define that performance ceiling. So streaming video on YouTube or Netflix, it's fine. Those apps are so well optimized to buffer that almost anything can run them.
Sure.
But the sources are clear that pushing it starts the moment you try to do more than one thing. Think like pinching and zooming on a big PDF or just having a bunch of tabs open in Chrome.
That's when you feel the stutter.
That's exactly when you feel it. It becomes really noticeable. It's not about what the processor can do on paper, but how the whole system works together. Or doesn't.
Is there a specific technical reason for that lag?
Oh, for sure. It's running on let's say, a low-end chipset, maybe even an obscure one. And on top of that, the storage is likely that older, slower eMMC memory, not the fast stuff you get in premium devices.
So that's the hardware bottleneck.
That's a huge part of it. But there's a software problem, too. The sources mention non-optimized apps.
And what does that mean for just, an average person using it?
When we say non-optimized, it means the core Android system hasn't been specifically tuned for this exact cheap hardware. It's kind of like running a performance car engine on a standard budget oil.
It'll run. Right.
It'll run, but you're going to feel that friction. That's what causes those stutters and longer load times when you try to do anything demanding, like a game or a real professional app. It just screams budget.
Okay, so the engine sputters a bit under load. What about everything else? Battery life, software polish. If I'm just watching movies, does the battery at least hold up?
The sources describe it as typical for this class. So you'll get decent time for browsing and streaming, but it's not going to compete with, say, an iPad for endurance. Not even close.
And the software experience itself.
That's where you often find the deepest cuts on budget devices. There's occasional lag, and the testing notes that the stability just isn't as polished as more established brands.
Is that just a cosmetic thing, the lag, or does it point to bigger problems, maybe security?
It's probably both. The sources imply it's not just laggy, but it's likely running an older version of Android.
Which means fewer security updates.
Way fewer, if any. So while the thing works out of the box, you're not getting that long-term investment from the developer. You might even get some weird bloatware on there. It's just a less secure future than a flagship model.
So what does this all mean for someone who needs the bottom line? Should the Aleruva be in their shopping cart or not?
If we pull back and look at the whole picture, the tablet is really only worth considering if your needs are super simple. We're talking basic web browsing, email, and streaming video on a really, really tight budget.
So this is basically a dedicated Netflix machine.
It's a great way to put it. It's a media viewing device. The low price is real, but what you're buying is minimal performance and basically zero future-proofing. Anyone who needs strong performance or robust security, they need to look elsewhere.
So the Aleruva is defined by its compromises. You get a surprisingly decent screen, but you give up speed, polish, and probably long-term stability.
Absolutely. And that leaves us with a final thought for you to consider. if all you're ever going to do is check your email and watch Netflix?
Yeah.
Is that peace of mind you get from a premium brand really worth paying 3 times the price when all this tablet lacks is the untapped potential you are never going to use anyway?
Something to think about the next time that ad pops up. That's all the time we have for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.